Hey class, welcome. I just wanted to show you what I would do as a student in lesson '02. If I were a student, if I were you, this is how I'd kind of go through these lessons. Um, Content, you go to lesson '02 and you'll click on the lesson notes. Click on that link. Really, it'll just have you read some things and watch a little video. So kind of gives you just some context of that first article of faith. So I can click on this little arrow to navigate, or I can go back to content. So click on that little arrow. Next thing that has this link, next link is questions and conversations. If you have anything, let me know. So really as a student, I'd read the notes. I'd go to the introduction. You'll have something similar. I'd just click on there and read the introduction. Once I get used to that, you'll notice that those come quickly, and so the next thing I'd do is the next link. So I'd go to the study assignment. This is always divided into two sections. So you'll read the lesson Truths to Ponder, and then you can click right here to do the readings. Okay. So after I read those, I might even pick to read these on Monday, read these on Tuesday, but you'll find some will go quicker and some will go a little bit longer than others. But the first assignment from these is what we call the initial insights. This is when you'll go back into your study group and you'll prepare for this initial insight by reading those assignments. Then you'll share on a new thread, and what you'll share are you'll identify three passages. And if you read this carefully, I'm going through it pretty quick, but read that carefully. It'll show you that and tell you that you need to pick three passages. If it's a scripture, then you'll just paste the scripture. If it's a passage from an article, copy and paste the quote that you're going to speak about. But select at least three passages from any of the study materials. It says at least one passage should be from scripture. And what you'll write about, what you'll annotate, is any key events or the scriptures that will connect it back to the article of faith. So you might explain those key events and how it ties back. You might share a personal experience or relevance from it, or something that inspires. It's a message to share with the world. Now, students in the past have said they'll do the passage or the quote, and then you see this instruction says, in a very short annotation. Well, some have defined that as one sentence, and you can see here that we've defined it as a paragraph. So I would invite you to write at least 3 to 4 sentences. One paragraph, really just kind of just explain it. Just don't say, I like this scripture, or this quote was cool. Here's what it taught me. We want your insights. We want your connections, your patterns, and themes that you've discovered. You can look at this rubric to more fully do that. But that's really your first assignment. It's due midweek, which is Wednesday at 11 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So if I did that on Wednesday, I would then maybe on Thursday go to the final insights. And for your final insight assignments, what you'll do is you'll go back to your study group. You'll look at the questions. Oh, I forgot to tell you that. Let me go back. That would get everyone in trouble. So there are the 3 passages with this initial insight, but at the end, it's a question that you'll post. So wow, I almost forgot that. So 3 passages and 1 question. In fact, I've already done an example of this that in your group, you'll see it. Let me just show you. You'll always have to start a new thread to put yours in. I've already done that. I've posted it to every group. But here's an example of what it would look like. I did a scripture there. Here's my annotation. Scripture here, number 2 annotation. Scripture 3, which was a passage from Elder Jeffrey R. Holland. And so I copied and pasted the quote there that I was going to talk about. And here's my annotation. And then at the end, put a question. Now, I would invite you, just it's helpful to me more than anything to divide these up kind of how I have. Just use this as a template. Make it easy on everybody, but for me too, to just see, all right, they did 1, 2, and 3. Here they are. And then the question at the end. So that will just make it easy for everyone. So, boy, I almost forgot that. I'm going to go back to content here. Well, maybe I should stay there. Anyways, so your final insight, you'll go back, you'll read, or you'll select 2 of your group's threads. So you'll look back and you'll say, all right, I really liked this question. I'm going to respond to that. Or you might have liked what they said. Really, the final insight is you responding to what people in your group have shared. And so you only need to select 2. So for your grade, for all of this, you'll need an initial insight with 3 passages and a question. And for your final insight, you'll need 2 more posts. 2 more posts where you will respond or reply to someone in your group's original post. Add more insight to the conversation. Don't let it be, I really liked what you said there. Thanks for sharing. Add more to the insight. Add your insight to it. Develop it more, or tell them that you appreciated it and then say, here's what I understand. Anyways, you get the point. What we don't want to see is, hey, good job. That was really cool. I liked what you said. So we want you to expand knowledge and testimony and understanding. So this has been so fun to read these insights, and I've learned so much. All right, so I did that. That's a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, whatever day you pick, and you'll get into a groove and a system that works for you. But reflection and synthesis page and the weekly report are due by Saturday. Make sure you go into those. Let me show you the reflections and synthesis page because this is important. Here's the templates. You'll click on that link to download that. And you can just fill this in on the Word document. You notice that there's a word count here. Okay, so in less than 100 words each, answer those questions for this explanation. In 200 words or 2 to 300 words, write your response that answers these questions. So just notice these in bold. List your word count at the top of your response. So here's the best way that I've seen people do it. That's really all that I need, and then you'll add your response to that. So I think each one has a word count. Just please list your word count at the top. So that will be so helpful to me and for your grade too. Reflection and synthesis, and then when you're done, do the weekly report. So this will be the pattern that you do week by week. You'll submit your report with that, and this video will be a little bit longer. You'll see next week. It'll be about 5 minutes long. But to recap, just go to notes, go to the introduction, read your study assignment, do initial insight, 3 passages and your insights, 1 question. Final insights, 2 additional posts to people in your study group. And your reflection and synthesis and weekly report. You'll find it won't take too much time, especially once you get the hang of it. So good luck this week, and if you have any questions, let me know.